Do you want me to
Continue.
record?
Yeah, let's record. Let's put it
Okay.
on.
I wasn't sure.
Okay. Oh, no, you're good. Yeah.
I put it on. No, so I went to Salem. I did the solo trip. And the reason why I went is because, well, I was supposed to go with friends and they
Mhm.
canceled. And so I was just like, maybe I should just like wait. But then I was like, and you and I talked about this. I feel like if I wait for them now, I'm going to be waiting forever. Like it's always going to be on their time instead of on my time. And I felt inside, Jennifer, like not just that I needed to go somewhere, but I really, really, really wanted to go to Salem. Like, you know, that feeling in yourself when you feel like, yes, everything inside of you is like, yes, yes, yes. That's what I felt. So,
Yeah.
yes, I decided to do the solo trip to Salem last weekend, I believe now. Yeah, last weekend. So, one day in Salem. First off, I did not realize there was a Salem, New Hampshire. So,
Me neither. Okay, keep going.
yeah,
I'm
so
like, oh,
like
okay.
So I looked up how to get there, and it was like all this stuff. It would take me like an hour and a half to get there from like Boston on like public transportation. And I'm fine because I'm from New York and we're used to that sort of travel time. Um,
Yeah.
but then I saw this like express bus to Salem, and I was like, hello, like I'm taking that. I'm on for like 30 minutes, and I'm in Salem, New Hampshire. I get off the bus, and I'm like, this is the wackest town ever. It's gray, there's nothing around here. Like, where am I? It's New Hampshire. So I finally just like bite the bullet, get an Uber. I recommend taking an Uber everywhere, honestly. To Salem. And it is the cutest thing ever. Like you immediately start, first off, I felt like I was welcomed by like the LGBTQ flags hanging everywhere. And then
Nice. Yeah.
yes, the Black Lives Matter signs in people's windows. I was just like, yay, my people. Yes, let the freak flags fly.
Yes.
And then there's these like statues and like you see signs for which museum and like which city and
That's awesome.
girl, I have never been in a place like this where I walk into a store and people are just like, so how long have you been a witch? I'm just like, oh, okay, like this is a thing.
Oh
Like,
my God, I love that.
right? Right? It's like, no, it's not about like what you do or whatever. It's like, so how long have you been practicing? It's like, this is a normal question for them. It's so funny. Um, and people were so nice. Like my first night out, I really packed it in. I got to my Airbnb, which by the way, Airbnb is the way to go if you want to
Oh
stay
my
in
God, I love
Salem.
it.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure the hotels are nice, but like for me, it's nice to like, I don't know, like I get weird staying in a place alone. So I like being able to hear other people around, like in the next room or like downstairs. So I'm not completely alone. But anyway,
Yeah.
my Airbnb was like overlooking the water. I had a private room, private bathroom, a bath. Like I said, a giant window overlooking the water. It was like literally picturesque, beautiful, perfect. And my hosts were so nice. I didn't meet them, which I prefer because I'm a millennial,
Yeah,
and
same.
I don't want to talk to anyone. um, but they left out like a coffee maker, like a water boiler heater, and like tea and like sugar. And I was just like, these people are great. Like I had chamomile tea and like all this. Anyway, it's like the little things that get me. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
but my first day out, I immediately do like a walking tour and a garden spell in like this place, and it's like amazing. Um, it was definitely for like the uninitiated though, I would say. Like the garden spell was like it was great, by the way. It was by Crow Haven something. Um and they give you, I don't want to tell too many details or spoil it for people who are going to do it, but they had us do like three different types of or two different types of spells. Three, they explained them and they gave us a little bit of storytelling about different types of witches and the Salem history, like the sea witch and all this stuff. And it was really cool. But it was definitely like if you have never been introduced to witchcraft, you would learn something new for sure. If you are into this sort of stuff, then it's like a really good reminder, like, oh, there's this type of magic that you can do and like this type of intention setting. So I loved it. But by the end, I was exhausted, to be honest. The
Yeah.
walking tour was fun. We went all around Salem talking about the different places people died, essentially. They were just like, I had a really great tour guide. Her name was Charlotte. She was just like, yeah, so was the Native American spiritual grounds. And it's kind of depressing because it's like modern Salem, Massachusetts now. It's like, there's nothing that tells you that there was like this was like a sacred space for Native American people. You know, it's like
Yeah.
a park. Um, and then there was like the statue of this like important figure to Salem. I forgot his name. And there was something significant about the statue, which is that there was he was holding some bittersweet, and our tour guide was saying that that was actually symbolic because bittersweet is like a sort of a plant that like, I don't know, it like takes over the area that
Yeah.
it grows in or something like that and sucks the life out of it. And they were like how that's kind of symbolic to what he did to the Native Americans. And I was like, oh God,
Yeah. Dude, that's like
jeez.
heavy. Yeah.
That- but they okay, so I'm not explaining it correctly because the way they made it feel was like kind of lighthearted though. It was like
Oh,
they
okay.
had jokes and it was fun. And they had also wanted to say my tour guide Charlotte was amazing. Also worked at Crow Haven, whatever the hell it's called. And she seemed really knowledgeable all about different types of witchcraft, which was really exciting for me. So she didn't just talk about her tradition, which I forgot what it is, but she was really talking. She was willing to talk to us about hoodoo and voodoo and like Santeria and like all these other different forms of witchcraft as well. So that was fun. But when the tour ended, girl, we ended like back at Crowhaven. We went to cemeteries. It was great, but I was like I've never slept so good in my entire life, Jennifer, in my entire
Nice.
life. I mean, because I left at 5 a.m. from New York and
Yeah.
I got there at like 2, and then I didn't get back to my Airbnb until like 9 p.m. that night or 10. So I was pretty 9 p.m. that night. I was done. I was exhausted.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, and energy work too, and then like going to a place that has like really powerful energy will drain you too, but like in a good way. But
I also went to Enchanted, which is really famous because it's a store owned by Lori Cabot. I believe that's how you say her name. Famous witch from Salem. She was actually one of the witches in Salem, like practicing witches who made it mainstream. Like, and they were telling us the story. The way they explained it is back in like the 60s, that show Bewitched came out. I believe with Sabrina the Witch. I
uh-huh.
don't know. It's a very old show. And it was the first depiction or one of the first depictions of a witch on television where the witch wasn't evil or ugly or scary. She was like a modern woman for that time and just happened to be a witch and living life and trying to make her husband and family happy. And because that show came out, they wanted to kind of capitalize, for lack of a better term, off of like this new image of a modern woman and witch. And so Lori Cabot was one of the people who was just like, because of our history, we're probably going to get a lot of different people who are curious and interested, and we have the opportunity to really show them what real witches are like. And it's not like evil, it's not the hag, it's not all these things that you thought it was. Um, and so that's why Lori Cabot is she was actually, because of her work with the community of Salem, bringing people together and making it more, I guess, like a tourist spot in a way. She was named the official witch of Salem, not because of her magic, but just because of her work in the community, which I thought was cool. I got to visit her shop, and her shopkeepers are like the cutest, like Gen Z, like most knowledgeable kids you'll ever meet. I hate to say kids, but like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
they're like 20 years old, and they're like, "So, what kind of spell are you making?" I'm just like, "Oh, okay."
Dude, that's awesome.
Yes, so that was like that day. And then my last day, which I only had a few hours, I just kind of went ham with like shopping. I went to House
Nice.
Witch.
Okay.
I love House Witch. First off, can I just say I never have been to a place where I actually thought like you could make a living being a professional witch, but in Salem it seems
Yeah.
like everyone's a professional witch, which I don't know, I'm sure has its downsides and upsides, but it's like really cool. So House Witch is amazing because I went to so many stores that kind of played off of the history of Salem and witchcraft and like almost, and I'm sorry I'm talking so much, Jennifer,
Oh
by the
no, no,
way.
no! I definitely want to hear it. Like I
Okay.
am loving it.
Okay. Because I'm like, usually you and I are like, there's more banter, but I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Anyway,
But I love
um,
it. Keep going.
okay.
My life's been like boring the past week, so I'm like living through you.
No, no, no. Honestly, this is the first fun thing I've done like all year. So, hello, COVID. No,
Yeah, right.
yeah. But I feel like they really kind of like had this like old fashioned still witch persona, which is fun. And I think when you go to Salem, that's what you want. Hey, witch hat. And I got it in
I know.
gray, by
I
the
like
way.
didn't get. Yeah, I like. I'm gonna wear mine next week because it's like in another like bin. But
But
dude,
can
it
you
looks so good
believe?
on you.
Can you? I know, Jennifer. I was like, Jen, I don't think it's gonna look good with my hair because so often hats, and I think it's because it's so big right here that it works.
Mm.
But so often hats don't work with my hair because it's too puffy. But this actually, like, I love it.
Dude, it
Like,
looks so good.
and also, what were the chances that I would find it in Salem? Like, this was the hat that I showed you online. And I was like, I want it.
Mm-hmm.
And I anyway. But where was I? Oh, House Witch. So, what's
Yes.
interesting about House Witch? Let me drink some water.
Oh yeah, good call. I should get drink some too. Keep going.
Mhm. Okay, water break.
Yeah.
House Witch has a much more modern witch feel than the other stores. Like you've been to new age shops, you know them, and it's definitely
Yeah.
like a new age shop, but it felt really there was something really modern about this store. Like you could be a witch or maybe you aren't. And you're just looking for like cute little touches to add to your home, like a really beautiful crystal pyramid or a pillow or a candle. Like it just had a very modern like feel to it for me that I felt was like perfect, a nice kind of merge of the world. Um, and I wish I could like insert footage here of the store. It's all on my camera, and I need a special attachment for this computer to get it off, but we'll work on that later. First off, House Witch right now, you have to set up an appointment to go
Oh,
into
that's
House
cool though.
Witch.
Yeah, so it's like really safe.
It's really safe, and I didn't know how much I love private shopping until I did it. I felt so luxurious. They were like, "Yeah, so it's only you for the next 30 minutes. You have the entire store to yourself. Put your stuff down, relax, enjoy yourself, like take your time." And I was just like, "Oh, I've never had this experience before." I feel like the red carpet was just like open to me, and I just felt really cool. I don't know why. I just felt really cool.
No, yeah, I've never been private shopping. That sounds awesome. It
It
seems
was
like a Kardashian. Like that's what's coming to my head.
girl.
Like
I would imagine that's the only way they're able to shop. I don't think they're able to shop like normal people at all. I think it's like all private, like close the store, they're coming, like type thing. But
hmm
that's how I felt. Anyway, so they gave me gloves, they made sure I had a mask, and they were like, totally take as much footage as you want, totally take as many
nice.
pictures as you want, right? Oh my God, that was so nice. So I like have the GoPro and I'm just like walking around the store, asking questions. I thought I was being annoying, but the girl that was working that day, so there was the owner who was behind the thing, like doing her thing, but at the front register, kind of was the store clerk. I don't know what you call them, and her name was Dev or Debbie, something like that. Anyway, she's a Pisces moon, Pisces sun, and Pisces rising girl. So sweet, so sweet. She was just so like, oh my God, ask me anything. I want to help you, blah, 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 blah. She's so cute. And she was like giving me different suggestions. And maybe I'll like take this in the room and like show you some of the things I have. Um, Candle suggestions, spell suggestions, YouTube spells, which I forgot to ask her about like before I left. Um, she was talking to me about my houses and astrology and like blah blah blah, and it was just so much fun. Oh my God, I bought a lot of stuff, Jennifer. I'm not even gonna tell you how much money I spent. I bought a lot of stuff. Um, but yeah, I just enjoyed shopping around House Witch. Got a ton of things, and yeah, I think the second day until I left, all I did was shop until I dropped, and the people were pretty nice to me. Like, um, I remember on day one, like it was kind of raining, and I totally came out of a store and like hit someone in the head with my umbrella. do you know they stopped, looked me in the eye, and apologized? And I was like, what are you
Wait,
doing? Like,
what?
I hit you. I'm sorry. And he's just like, I should have been looking where I was going. I was in my own head. I was in the zone. I'm so sorry. Blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, I'm not in New York.
Yeah.
This is not, you know, New York. This is not New
Yeah.
York. And
In New York, you don't even have time to like think. You're just like going.
in fact, when I got back to New York, girl, like it was like a crazy, funny, like dichotomy. It was like a split like universe or something. Like I was in this really great place and then I'm in New York and someone like knocks me over on their way to the subway and I look at them appalled and they didn't even look back. I was like, I could have been on the tracks. I could have
Yeah.
died or something. Like you didn't even look to see what happened to me after you knocked me over. I was just like, this is crazy. But
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Salem is awesome. Have to go back. So fun, so witchy. I think the only thing I thought about when I went there is, oh, I wonder if like the witches just spell on each other. Because that's the only thing. I feel like with the Starseed community, we're much more like, and this is not a jab at the witch
Yeah.
culture,
Yeah.
because I found it very empowering. But I feel like with Starseeds, we're much more like open to life and like obstacles and working with obstacles. So I feel like Starseeds um, and feel free to disagree, of course, but I feel like we're more like, okay, what is this obstacle trying to teach me and how can I work with it? Whereas the witches are just like, how can I witch my way out of it? How can I get this person to
Yeah.
see my point of view? It's just like, yes, but also like, also what's the lesson here? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Exactly.
It's not all about just like bypassing this challenge and like getting what you want. It's also like, but what's here for you also? Like, what's the gift in this
Yeah.
moment? And I felt like, I think I was missing a little bit of that perspective as well. But all in all, it was great. I think you would love it. I think you would love it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, even just you talking about it. So I've only seen the beginning. Have you seen that Adam Sandler movie? It's called like Hubie Halloween, I think. It's
No.
set in Salem, and I only saw the beginning because it was like, I don't know, like so, I don't know, something happened. I mean, it's kind of cheesy. It's like not a very good movie, but it's set in Salem, and like at the beginning of it, it just looks like such a cute place. And I feel like, or just like looking from it, I feel like it'd be a really fun like summer place, you know? And like even just you talking, I'm like, oh, we need to have a workshop there for like a week or like a weekend. Like we need
Girl,
to we need to go back. Or I mean, I've never even been, but like I feel like I've been now through you, but like I actually need to like go.
you have to go there physically and like feel the energy. It's so nice. At least the place I went to was, I know some people have different experiences at different places, but I thought it was a really cool town. And it just so happens that everyone I interacted with were kind of nice. Like even this, I don't know, I'm not gonna say snotty witches, but even they turned out to be nice. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So the only thing I wanted to share with you, and I was gonna share this privately, but like I'm cool with this being recorded and out there in the universe. They, this was this. I did do a card reading,
Yeah.
and we got through a lot of stuff. This was the second card reading in the last 4 weeks that told me that something might shake up with my job situation and that I should start applying to new jobs now. And I was just like, what is going to go down? What's happening?
Yeah.
Why are you telling me this? Like someone else told me this. um, so I'm like just because the star seed in me is just like keep it cool, work on yourself because the more you work on yourself now in my mind, the more prepared you'll be for whatever happens because it could be like it doesn't have to be this disastrous thing where you're
Mhm.
like you're fired and the house is burning down. It could actually be like a beautiful like just transition, but whatever it is, you'll be ready. I'm finally in that headspace, but when she told me that again, I was just like, what the f,
Yeah.
what the f. Like, I understand like wanting something new. I've been at my job for 3 years and I love it. Like, it's great. I definitely think I need to grow more and make more money. But
Yeah.
but when she told me that, I kind of like instantly freaked out, to be honest. Like, has Arita ever told you something like that before?
I'm trying to think. I feel like most of mine are, at least like all the recent ones have been good, but like before, and not so much about like jobs or like card reader, but I feel like energy people are always like, they're like, oh my gosh, your energy is like, so you're so blocked and you need to buy. But then they always followed up with, you need to buy like hundreds of dollars of my services. And then you're always upset, but then you're like, a little bit of you is like, oh wait, like maybe you're just trying to sell me stuff. Cause like I know I'm blocked and I know where I'm blocked and I'm working on it, but like, is it really like life or death? Um, but also I feel like sometimes when you get those like really like harsh readings like that, like I feel like it's like the person projecting because I'm like, I feel like I feel like both of us, like we would never like let someone leave a reading feeling like that. You know,
Yeah.
like if we got something that we didn't want, we would just ask another question that we know is gonna like have a good answer. Like
Yeah.
and like end on that. Like someone asked me that. They're like, oh my gosh, this reading was so nice. Like what happens when you like do something and you get something that's not good? And I was like, well, like if the I feel like it's always important to deliver it nicely and then like yeah, you can ask like how things will end up, or one that people always like is like, tell me about the person I'm going to end up with. And obviously, if you're going to end up with them, it's going to be like a great relationship. Like, you're not going to like have your ultimate like love be something awful. Like, yeah, you might have some in between that are like, you know, learning lessons, but like, if you're going to like commit to them and like that'll be your last like true love or whatever, it's going to be a positive like response. So I feel like it's always good to just like turn it upside down a little bit.
You hit the nail on the head. Like I definitely feel like we're always like trying to empower people and bring
Mm-hmm.
them the energy higher. Like that's the difference. Like I actually I had explained to people in this private group I'm a part of on Facebook, which I'm probably going to leave soon because I'm not even doing anything with it. Anyway,
Oh.
I'm always giving you these side notes, like,
Yeah, no, I like it.
these tidbits. No, because the way I work with people, I when I look at the energy of like where people are with their awareness, like there's
Mm-hmm.
like the witch, there's the medicine woman, and then there's like the priestess slash starseed. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like for me it's like the witch is really like she might be new to this sort of lifestyle, she may not be, but it's like for me the difference between the three is their level of awareness and their level of interest in helping the world and humanity. I think on the far end of the scale is the starseed slash priestess who's really interested in working on behalf of the planet, and so you get really mystical there. And then there's the medicine woman who's really interested in not just herself but like maybe her home or her community, like she, so your view gets more global as you go, not that any is better than the other. And then there's the witch who's really concerned about manifesting and maybe working herself. Like when women the women I meet typically fall into one of those three categories, and I work with them based on that. Like what's your interest, what's your goal? Like some for some people it's just manifesting like the perfect career or financial situation, and that's great. And by the way, like you can fall on any one of these depending on where you are just that year. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
oh, for sure. Like on the day, even. Yeah.
On the day, yeah. Like, I mean, once you, and by the way, like once you are set up in your home and in your space and internally, like once you've gone through that witch phase, then I feel like you have more space to step into the medicine woman role should you choose, right? Because then you're like
Hmm.
my house is set, my foundation is there. Now I can look globally and like at the environment around me and how I can improve it. And then if you want to, you can go up a step or two or three up with the starseed consciousness, which I think tends to be really, really high because we work with a lot of really high vibrational energies. That I think was interesting because, and I don't even know why I'm talking about this because you were talking about something very specific about just leaving readings on a high note. But one thing I noticed in Salem is like the witches there were very concerned about their personal empowerment, which is great. But it was all like me, 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 me. And I feel like Starseed is very like we.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's like to your point, it's like, yeah, it's not just about delivering the information, it's about being concerned about the person on the other end, how they're receiving it, and also like how it's actually going to benefit them, you know? So I totally, I agree with you.
And I feel like too, if ever I get like something that like, yeah, like seems like harsh or abrupt or something, like I try to like step back to and be like, wait, am I just like projecting like something into it or whatever. Because yeah, I feel like yeah, there's just like there's different ways to like present the information for sure, and like yeah, it definitely depends on the person giving it to like how. But I mean, I guess some people like that like hard like tough love, whereas I feel I feel like I don't know. I just need like hugs and unicorns and clouds and rainbows.
No, like I definitely try and like feel out the situation. Like, can someone take it, or
Hmm.
is the tough love gonna help them more in the end?
Yeah. Hmm.
Some people, it's not helpful at all, and therefore you don't want to give it to them. If it's not helpful to
Hmm.
them, don't do it. But yeah, I feel you on like how do people receive the information? You know, that's awesome.
Yeah. Dude, that hat was so cute on you.
I love it. I'm like, am I gonna look weird if I wear it? My little cousin was like, "Oh my god, you have a witch's hat," and I was like, "How'd you know it was a witch's hat? Why can't it be a normal hat?" And she was just
Yeah,
like,
right?
"That's a witch's hat." And I was like, "Okay," but I just live in this like, in a way, I live in like a small town with like a certain group that's like the dominant culture, and this is so like I don't want to say it's so outside. Like if I lived in Manhattan, I think this might go down better if that makes sense versus here. So
Yeah, I used to live in the Bronx for a little while too on 390th, like around I think it's 390 or 396, like that stop. And I definitely see what you're saying. Like it was just it was more religious than spiritual, like for sure. And like I could see how that, but I feel like the Bronx is more like it's definitely more neighborhoody than New York. Like New York is neighborhoods, but they're more like diverse. Like in the Bronx, you can go to a neighborhood where like everyone is like speaks a different language. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're just like, oh, I mean, it's like really cool, but it's
really
definitely more
interesting.
like or less diverse, I guess, than like New York neighborhoods.
It's interesting because there are parts of the Bronx where it's like super Latino, and then there are parts of the Bronx where I've been to, my sister has taken me, and it's super African. Like not African American, it's African. And it's like, am I in the US? No, like not in a bad way, but it's just like, wow, there's like a whole community here. It's like a thing. Um, Super interesting.
Yeah, that's how like when I was on 390th, it was one of those like it was an African community, and that's why I was like I feel like everyone was definitely more religious, like for
Oh yeah.
sure, than spiritual.
Yeah. And not just like it was like it's either Christian or like Muslim. Like those are the
Mhm.
two I dominant ones I see. Um and that's actually been interesting, an interesting thing for me, not to like go totally off topic because I am going to go in my room and try and show you some things.
Yeah,
Um
please do.
Very awkwardly, like with the camera like that. Anyway, um yeah, so I did tell my friend, and this was something he kind of struggled with, but I was just like, listen, you don't get it. I've dated before, and this has been an issue for me. Like meeting guys who say like they're not religious for themselves, but like at the same time, because they grew up with a certain religion, want their children to be, or expect that I will eventually change, or like, have you ever come up
Hmm.
in, has that ever come up for you?
Oh
Like,
my
okay,
gosh,
you're
yeah,
this
it's like,
now, but like
mhm.
eventually, I mean, you're gonna be like Christian, right? And you're just like,
Or
no.
it's just like, or it's like, well, you'll come to church with me and our kids, right? And I was like, no, like, and then they're like, and yeah, I feel like that was ultimately like the downfall in that relationship, like, because he was like, when we first started dating, like, I just thought he was like Christian or grew up Christian family or whatever, and but yeah, he like memorized Bible verses, like, and which like nothing wrong with it, but like definitely just like not the best fit for me. Well, and like me, like believing in aliens and tarot is like
By the
not
way,
okay.
when it comes to aliens, it's like I always tell people there's nothing to believe in. It's a fact. Like whether you believe in it or not doesn't mean it's not a thing. Like I don't really care if anyone believes in it because it doesn't change the fact that it is like
Hmm.
just a fact of life that there are interdimensional beings here, whether you are aware of it or not. But anyway, yeah, like that has come up for me. Like I dated this guy, he was Nigerian, and although he wasn't super religious or spiritual, actually, he did grow up Christian, which I didn't think it was an issue at all, at least not for me.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I remember one time we got into a conversation, like a rather deep conversation, and we had already been broken up, we're just friends, but like just about kids and marriage and like how we want our kids to grow up and our values. And yeah, he was like, I know you're like open and spiritual and blah blah blah, but like how you're not going to raise your kids like that. Like eventually you're going to be Christian. And that was like the first time it occurred to me, like although he wasn't religious right now, in his mind he couldn't accept this idea of someone living a life completely outside of the bounds of that community.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if I wasn't like a serious Christian, like at least being socially Christian seemed important. And I was like, I think he seemed surprised that I was like, nah, like I actually wouldn't mind going to church every so often. I actually prefer Catholic churches because my grandma was Catholic, surprisingly. Fun fact. Um,
Yeah.
but and I love Jesus. I actually think Jesus is like a beautiful bomb ass high vibrational energy that people should tap into more often in the spiritual community. But there's so much dogma with the Christian church. I'm just not interested. Not interested. So
Well, and I feel like there's like a lot of like expectations and like gossip and like in because I've like met a lot of people that are like really Christian that are like super nice, lovely people.
mhm.
Um, but then I've also met someone that are like a little bit judgy and stuff. And like I just like what we were saying before, like I'm focused on the unity consciousness 5D and like anything else is just like I don't know, not today.
It's not today, honey. Not today. I have so many things. It's like it's ridiculous. And my room
Yay!
is a fucking mess.
Oh my gosh,
Um
my room is such a mess. I'm like on the floor in like my sister's room.
okay. 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 Sorry. I'm listening to you by the way and
Oh no,
totally hear you. Here are my cute
no, you are
things.
good. Well, and I'm glad you're doing the sharing this week because I finally ordered some sea moss. I know we talked about it before.
Yeah.
I've been looking at it and researching it forever, and I finally was just like, all right, I'm gonna buy some. So I got some sea moss, and then I got some amaranth. I don't know actually how you say it, but it's like some grain from the alkaline diet from that Dr. Sebi's like protocol. So
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
yeah, and then I bought some neem oil for use as like a for oil pulling for teeth.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm like, so I went like online shopping last week because I was like, all right, nothing is more important than your health. So
True.
just gotta treat yourself with like health stuff.
1000%. Sorry, I'm just setting up. And I turned on this light because I don't know, even with the light on, my room is still so dark. It's ridiculous. Okay. Hello. Not showing boobs.
Yay! Haul time.
Whole time. I like have a whole altar situation kind of set up. I'll probably show you guys that too. But first with the bag of goodies. And like I said, I already put some stuff up, so I might not have all that much to share. But I mean, first and foremost, House Witch. I mean, come on, like, um, sorry, I can't stand showing too much.
Right? Like
Yeah,
I hate that shirts, especially those crossover. I don't even have big boobs and they still are just like all boob. And I'm like, no, why?
yeah, like no, just like be normal, okay?
Hmm.
Um, House Witch mug, which I love.
Oh my gosh, that's
Um,
so cute.
uh, House Witch like cute little lighter
Aw.
things. I have the crystals over there, but I have like Salem Witch crystal pack, and this was actually free with my purchase. The owner gave it to me. She was just like, "You're awesome.
Nice.
You need this." And it's like it's the streets of Salem, crystals, and they kind of represent the streets of Salem. So it says, "Wander across cobblestone sidewalks and under canopies of golden leaves with the streets of Salem spell pouch. Includes autumn jasper for a breath of New England air, cobbled brick obsidian for graceful grounding, spiderweb jasper for welcoming the wild, and tombstone moss agate for paying respect to those who came before."
Aw,
That
that's really
is
sweet.
so sweet. I just love little things like that. I got a ton of candles, Jennifer. It's crazy. So first and foremost, I've been loving the Comfort Zone candle.
Oh, I like
Super,
that. That's cute.
super
Is that
nice.
like the shiny glass or is it just clear?
Clear. I
Nice.
think you can tell.
Yeah.
I also got this witch shop candle. I kind of love it. Um,
Nice.
it's supposed to smell kind of like, ooh, like a witch's shop. It does smell like incense and musk and like all that good stuff. I also got like just general, like I got so inspired there, like to actually practice more, because I feel like with Starseed stuff, that's the only thing is like we get so inundated with like the healing and the clearing and the blah 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 that we forget about just like straight up manifesting what we want. So I got like a
Yeah.
couple yeah, of like different types of spell candles.
Aw,
uh,
nice.
for
Oh
healing.
my gosh, those are all like those colors remind me of you. They're very like Pisces, like loving, like heart chakra, Magdalene, water.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, you know me so well. Um, of course, I have India temple incense. You can get this from any New Age shop, but like this is my thing. That's it. Um,
Yum.
cute books like this one, Healing. I don't even know what this is about. I just picked it up from House Witch, but it seemed like really cool.
Yeah.
Um, and it's from the healing and self help section. I actually
Oh.
got this House Magic book by House Witch.
Oh, nice.
I have this book called We Were Witches. It's on my bed. You guys can look it up. It's a really great book so far, very well written. It's about this woman who was a teen mom and like her experience being queer back in the day and a teen mom and like and a Wiccan or something like that or witch and like just all this the barriers she had to come up against growing up during that time. So really excellent book. Um I also got okay for fun this one called Bewitchment, and it's all love spells, which I think is
Oh.
really fun. And then I got this notepad. It's really cute. It just says, "Imagine everything you ever wanted. There you go," and write it here. And I thought
Oh,
that was
that's
really
so
cool.
cute.
Isn't it cute?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so cute. And then just like random, like, okay, there you are.
Yes.
Um, I want people to know what my values are when they first meet me. So I got this like trans rights or human rights pin and like house witch pin and like things like that,
Oh.
which I think are really adorable. And where's my rest of my stuff? Of course, little witchy face mask because hello, COVID. Um, and this
Oh
really
my god,
cute
that's so cute.
2021 calendar. And it's really cool because you have kind of like color therapy with it. Like,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That is really
imagine
cool.
meditating with this like in a bubble around you. I thought that was really nice. And then I have some really cool like
Well, on the wall will like send good vibes.
exactly, exactly. And then I don't know, I can show it to you, but I have like a cute little let's see setup here.
Oh, I like the feather. Wait, did you
Yeah,
buy all those feathers connected or?
I did.
That's awesome.
Yeah, with like these house witch candles, um, candle holders, aura angel quartz crystals, like things of that nature. I just added some greenery. I have this house blessing, not from House Witch, but it's a house blessing like spell kit, which I love. Cute crystals to anchor in earth energies. And then of course, like give me that money, sugar scrub, which I thought at this
Nice.
time belongs on the altar. So that's
Yes.
the altar space right now. And that's some of the things I got from Salem, which I hope was a little bit interesting.
Oh my
And
gosh,
then,
dude, so interesting.
of course, like just like little things like this for my little sister, witch's brew and like a witch's hat pin,
Oh my gosh.
right? And just like the shot glasses for like my mom and my sister.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like it's nice to get these little tchotchkes when you travel to different places. So that's pretty much what I got.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because like I feel like it's nice to like just let people know that you're thinking of them and like, you know, blah blah blah. Back to the good lighting and the consistent Wi-Fi. But okay, all in all, like Salem is the place to be. Absolutely loved it. Felt like I was amongst my people,
Aw.
and I feel like we have to visit together at some
Dude,
point.
I definitely see like a workshop there. Like, I feel like in
Yes.
the summer when it's warmer, or I mean, it'll still be cooler than like everywhere else, or not everywhere else, but you know what I'm saying. It won't be like the South or New York where it's just like lots of humidity and like sweat. But like, I feel like it'll be nice to just take a weekend and go to Salem.
Just yeah, just a day or two and like breathe in that New England air. I think the only thing is I wasn't aware of many vegan spots.
Oh, huh.
That was the only because they're like right on the water. So they're
Mm,
famous for like their lobster and like foods like that. So we'd have to do a little research, just a
yeah.
little, or we'll go grocery shopping. Because now that I think about it, I don't recall bumping into like a ton of like vegan options even like on a menu except for salad, which is like so whack. It's 2020. It's like you should have a vegan or two meal or three or four. So yeah.
Well, it's funny because it's like so easy. You could just put like hummus or something. Like, but you know,
Start off vegan and then we make it like complicated. So
yeah.
um
But
yeah.
dude, I'm so glad you went and had a nice time. Like, and I feel like a nice weekend of like when you're traveling and like shopping is just like the best.
It definitely like breathed new life into me and into my practice. Like I think it's so important to, especially now with COVID, I've felt like just a little isolated and like out of the loop with other spiritual folks, not just like outside of like online, which is like its
Yeah.
own thing, like in person, speaking with people, laughing with people, getting to know them. Like I kind of miss that. And so just taking a weekend to like go out and like meet such friendly people. I felt like it would be so easy to like really meet people in Salem and like become friends with them. Everyone was so open. Whereas New York, I do feel like it's a little harder. It's not impossible, but it's a little harder. And I just felt good like being amongst our people. You know what I'm saying? The witchy folks.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like it's cool because I feel like there's a part of me that feels like everyone is like a witch, like in some way, but then like society just like blocks it and they're like, oh no, like it goes against the Bible, or it's like only what like the crazy celebrities do, you know, like right after they shave their head and go to rehab or something. And it's just like, I don't know, just unnecessary. I'm like, just let people be like in tune with nature, just be like their natural selves. Like,
I 100% agree. And it is important to just be your natural self and to, yeah, kind of let your freak flag fly. I'm like not that eloquent this morning, but it's all good. It's Friday.
yeah, I know. I'm like, it's Friday, and like I said, I feel like the energy is just like gonna be crazy until like December 2021, and then I feel like it's also just gonna keep getting crazy, but like in a different way.
Exactly. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pause and grab my food and come
Oh
right
yeah.
back. And it's so fun because I can actually pause the recording instead of stopping and starting. So
Oh,
That's
I didn't
nice.
even know that. That's really cool.
1 second. Play. Okay, but like before I have to go, really quickly, Jen, like what's been going on with you? Like, do you have any updates for our lovely audience? I saw you have a new video on
Oh, thank you.
Authentically Tarot.
Yeah. I actually I posted it in Reddit and like offered like free readings. So I have like a bunch, so that's why I like got a lot more subscribers, because I'm like, oh, if you subscribe, I'll give you a free reading. So it's been cool to read for people. It was definitely a lot more people than I thought would respond. So I'm going to get through those for the next while.
That's like,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's like nice to I mean, this sounds weird, but it's like nice to get into like some people's energy. Like when you do their readings, like it's nice to see like when the people have like a really calm and like sweet energy, like you can like feel it. And then other times like people have like chaotic energy and you're just like, oh, I can't wait for this one to be done.
Oh my God. So you're like super empathic in that way.
Yeah, like I feel like I can just like well, and you know what's funny is like the one person that I was like, oh, like the sweetest, like, and I was like, I definitely feel like water sign. He wrote back and he was like, I'm a Pisces. I was like, oh, I knew it. Um, but yeah, some people you can just feel like just like chaotic. Like, you know, when the energy is just like kind of like buzzing and it's like nervous and like in your heart. And I'm like, oh, I
Gemini.
feel so bad.
Yeah.
um but actually I was going to show you, so I just started, so they're not like anywhere done, but I started making like little oracle cards. Like I'm going to like add like words, but because like everyone just wants love reading, so this is like the most done because it has like the thing. So um that's when I wrote, I want to spend the holidays with you. I was like watching other people's tarot and I was like, what are good love messages? But I mean, they're definitely not done at all, but I was like, one day they'll be done.
Those look really good.
Oh, thanks. Like they're kind of like basic compared to like these, you know, like you see the ones there, it looks like elaborate oil paintings and so, like on the tarot cards. And I'm like, how did you guys like have time to like do this for 72 cards? But I was like, I can do like little sunshines and rainbows and then
I actually think that's really incredible.
thank
Like, I
you.
can't believe you actually like you painted those by hand and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, they're just like a start, and I don't even like know exactly like the words to go with them. But I was like, I feel like too, it's like tough when you have so many ideas because then it's just like you just want to like have more and more and more ideas. But like I'm like, okay, sometimes you actually have to like do the ideas because I know we still have like our book outline, which is like I feel like still like a really good idea, and we have lots on there. Um, yeah, so we're gonna get there, but I'm like, okay,
Slowly but
before I add
surely.
any more ideas, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I've
Well,
just been feeling more like creative, like, or just like that I want to just like do stuff, like not work stuff, but like anything else. Like, I just want to write, I want to draw, I want to like run, I want to like build stuff, but gotta wake up earlier.
I know, make superfood smoothies. Like, there's just
Yes. Mm-hmm.
so much to try. By the way, you have to tell me how that sea moss works out because like I said, I heard of people using it in desserts as like a, I don't know, thickener or something.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, like they say a lot of people they make it and it kind of they call it a gel, but it kind of looks like a pudding. So I told my family it's like a pudding. I'm like, oh, I'm getting healthy pudding. Because if I'm like, oh, you're eating moss gel, I don't know if that would fly as
go over
well.
well.
Yeah. Um,
Even
but
in
yeah,
my mind, it sounds gross. Like, not bad, but like it's like moss. Yeah.
yeah, and it looks like so weird too, like when you were ordering it, but I don't know, supposedly it's like life changing. And like actually like literally everyone I know who like posts a video about it, just like skin is just glowing. And like it might not be the moss, it might just be like that there are that person, but um I'm like, gotta do it.
Awesome. Well, there's still so much to talk about. Um, I have to pop off very, very soon. So I am going to stop the recording here. But I can't wait to talk again and like to show people our progress. I actually love those cards. I can't wait for you to finish them so you can like reproduce it and I can like purchase it for myself because
Oh, yeah.
I am an avid collector of tarot cards as well, even though I read way less than you do. And yeah, until next time.
Yay! I know we should do like a midweek one. Well, we'll see how the week goes. I feel like COVID, like things just like pop up all the time. Like, have you felt that like it's just like I feel like the energy is just like moving so fast, but also like slow. It's like weird.
Yeah, actually, it's really interesting. It is interesting. Like even this month, I feel like the start of the month was like took forever. And
Mhm.
something about like right after the elections, I felt like things sped up a little bit more. I don't know why I felt that way, but I don't know.
No, I felt that way too. I feel like after the elections, it was just like hit the ground running, and then like, but also I feel like maybe I'm just like not a morning person. I feel like the mornings go really slow, and then the rest of the day like goes by really fast.
Yeah, definitely. Or maybe there's just so many projects for you that you want to do that it
Yeah,
kind of
that's
feels
true.
like you get lost in the evenings when you have more time to yourself
Hmm.
and you're working on it. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I
Okay. Do
guess
you have a 2 o'clock call?
yes, I do. And I will send this video to you as soon as it's uploaded done.
Yay! Sounds good.
Awesome.
Oh, it's so good to catch up, and I'm so glad you had fun.
Of course.
Salem sounds awesome,
Yeah,
and
it
I
is.
can't wait till we have a sister trip.
Woo! Yes, to that place, Colorado, to Sedona. Like, there's just so many places.
Hmm.
Um, awesome.
All
Bye,
right.
Starseeds.
Bye.